Hey guys, this is the first tutorial Roblox tutorial on how to learn um basic basically how Roblox works and how to code and all the tips that tips and tricks that developers use while making games. And this series will show you how to make games. Like you can literally just start making games as soon as you finish this these tutorials. It's not done yet, it's in a work in progress, but we will try to get videos out like very soon after the first one comes out. So the first thing we are going to teach you is the introduction of Roblox Studio. Basically showing you how to use Roblox Studios and its tools basically. So let's just get like so to get parts, you have to click this button right here, and this will make a part in Roblox Studio. What you would do so and also another thing that most people don't show you is how to get the spawn part. I'm gonna show you. So the spawn part is in. You have to go. So you're in home. You have to go to model. Then if you see the spawn part, it's in the table gameplay. Click that, and then now you have a spawn part right here. Um, but yeah, that's basically how you get a spawn part, and this is where you will be spawning when the game starts. Alright. Now I'll teach you the controls in Roblox Studios. So Q and E is to go up and down. WSD is just to move around and stuff like that. Shift. Oh yeah. So shift. It basically just makes you focus more. So it makes you just slow. It just makes your speed slow down a little. But yeah. Another thing, F, which basically it focuses on a selected part. So if I click this, it would just go to the spawn location part, and I can just look at it. Like it's very useful for let's say the part is all the way down here and I don't know where it is. I can just press F and it'll just bring me to the part. And you also saw that I used Control Z. Control Z is to undo stuff. Pretty easy stuff. Redo. That's Control Y, and then Control Z is it's basically redo, and then Control is it Control Z? Yeah, Control Z is to undo stuff. Control Y is to put it back to where you put it before. So, pretty easy stuff. And right mouse button is to move your camera view like I am right now. Mouse scroll wheel just to zoom in and zoom out, and middle mouse just pans out where. So this is basically the middle. So it just basically goes around where your mouse is positioned at. Just goes around that. I don't really use it, but it is kind of useful, I guess. If you're trying to go up a building or something like that. If you're making a building, you're trying to go up it, I guess. So we got different types of parts here. I didn't show you all the parts. So we got the block, which is this. We got the sphere. We got the wedge. We got the corner wedge. And we got the cylinder. Now these shapes are actually very useful, but the one that you're gonna use the most is probably the block part, because you're gonna try to build stuff. These are other items that you could use that are round and shaped differently. So now we're gonna go through the tools here. So we got the selection tool to select items in your game. The move tool, this basically moves the one of the axes of the part and moves it where you want it to go. So if you want it to go this way, you can go there, you can go this way. The Y vector, and basically you use this to basically move the part wherever you want it to go. The move tool, actually no, we already explained that. The scale, this is where the scale part, this is where you can make the part bigger and smaller. Right. So you would probably use this to like make buildings. You can make it as big as you want. There is a limit to how big you can make it. I know, yeah, like see, it reaches the limit and you can't make it that big. But usually you won't reach that limit. Hopefully not. Then rotating. This is where you can basically rotate the part wherever you want it to go, which direction you want it to go. This is like if you want precise types of, like if you want it to be like a corner of a house or something like that. This collisions join forces. Actually, you won't be really using this that much. So we're not gonna like teach you this, has to do with advanced, but we're gonna teach you about the snap to grid. So this basically, right now I have 0.01 studs, which makes it so it goes 0.1 studs, and I can move it how like I want. Actually, yeah, okay, so if I do 0.10 instead, like 0.1, it'll get a little bit fidgety. You see that? It's like going, like it's not going precise anymore. It's going like, it's like fidgety. You see that? Now if I put one stud, it'll go one stud each time. These are basically studs right here. It's your little studs, and if you position it to this, well, it's the, but you get what I mean. It's going by one stud. These are studs right here. It's going by one stud, next to one stud. You could, you would only change these to get like precise measurements of how big you want the part to be. Now, another thing where I'm also going to show you is how to get your avatar, because you know, to get your avatar in the game. A lot of people would want to know this. I didn't even know this before, but now you can. So if you go to rig builder, there's a bunch of options: to skin avatar, Ruther avatar, block avatar, mesh avatar, and then others from a later date. But you want to click on this, my avatar, and it'll bring your avatar into the game. It's pretty neat, you know. Like if you wanted to mess around with your avatar in game, you could just do that, you know. Now there's the animator editor. This is, well, you would only use this to basically make animations. I'll show you how to play animations in a later date, but this is how you would make animations. So say I put wave, grab this, and I take my arm, and I can just do this. So I can basically just do this, move it like that. So waving on, you know, wave, yeah. So basically, yeah, that's basically you would just use this to make animation. I will show you about twins. They're kind of similar, but that's for a later video because that deals with coding. So we don't want to get into coding in this video. We just want to show you how to use Roblox Studio. Another thing that is also useful is but we're going, so basically you're at home, go to view, and you will see show action settings stats. We will not do anything with this. We might use this, but we might not use it a lot. And actions, we will probably not use them, but we might use them. So, and also, if you have this thing right here, if you have this, you don't want it, you can take it out. I usually take it out, and it's called view selector view, and just take it out because it might get into the way of things. So show. So basically, this is the explorer, and this is the output. You would probably want the output, because we are gonna use it for testing purposes when we start coding. But also this just checks if like any errors happen in your code, and then basically you debug the code to fix that error so you don't have that type of error. And then we got the explorer, where everything is. Workspace is probably where everything is going to be. Like you see, when I spawn these parts, they are spawned to workspace because that's where everything is. Alright. So now we got properties. These are basically, so when you click on a part, you will see like a bunch of properties, alright, that you could change. There's like, you could change the color of the part. Click this, you could make it red, you could make it white, you could make it black. You can basically make it any color you want. And here you could choose a specific color. But you get the idea. Right, and then here you can choose the size of the part, like precisely. If you wanted it just to be 9, not to have like decimals on it, then you would do that. Right? What the? Still had a decimal. Oh well. Now it's really small. It's flat now. But you get what I mean? Yeah. So you can just change the size of it by using numbers. But don't use too high numbers because then it's gonna get crazy and stuff like that. I mean, you could, but it's gonna get crazy. I don't think you want that. But now we got the position. This is where the part is located in the game. So I can move this, right, and its position would be changing. Position would be changing each time I move this. But right now I'm moving the Z-axis. I can move the x-axis and the y-axis. Alright. So I can basically just move this part to 0, 0, which is the middle of the map, basically the middle of the game. Alright. So yeah. So basically, you can use this to position your parts precisely. Again. Just move it there, and move it up more. You can get crazy with it. But another thing I'm gonna talk about with you today is the anchored system. So anchoring, a lot when I started out, I didn't really know about anchoring and my games. So I'll just show you when it doesn't have anchoring. Right now, anchoring is false. Alright, it's false. Let's just have Kinkler. So if I play the game, this is how you would play the game. By the way, I will show that later. Okay, yeah, the part just falls down. You didn't see it, but the parts are falling down because they are not anchored. Alright, so I literally, if I move the part in game, I'll move the part in game, it'll just fall. Right? Because it's not anchored. But if I anchor it, it won't fall because now it is stuck to this position. But that doesn't mean you can't move it. You can move it in different ways, but it just can't if you put an animation on this, it won't move, alright? Because it's anchored. Alright? Also because it needs a human arm for that. It can't be anchored because then how would the human move? But that's for a later video. But you get the point. Let's just say when it's anchored, it doesn't have physics are basically turned off. Well, gravity is turned off, and then when it is off, gravity is turned on, and the part will fall. So yeah. But another thing is the game settings. So right now my game is not even saved to Roblox, so I'll probably like name this game, you know, tutorial, yeah, and I'll put, you know, blah blah blah. This is where you would just for your game. This is the description of your game. This is where you tell the player, oh, this is what my game is about. This is what you're going to be seeing in this game. You know, basic stuff. And I'll just put me. And this is the devices, and this is where you can allow devices to play your game. So if I didn't want tablets in my game, I could just click not. So I'll just click that. So the check means, oh, the player who has a tablet can enter the game. But if I don't have that, that means the player that has a tablet cannot enter the game. Same with phone, same with computer, and same with all the devices. But you must have at least one device playable on the game, because then no one can play the game. It'll just be an unplayable game. So I'm just gonna put everything. If you put everything, it's fine. It won't do anything. It like everything can play it. So yeah. And then you can save it, and it will save to Roblox, and this will turn into actual game in Roblox, and you can actually join it in Roblox. And it's loading, and boom, now my game is, well, it's not published yet. It's still marked as private. I can make my friends play it, but it's still marked as private. If you want, public means it's public for everyone. Everyone can play this game. Communication. This is the new thing that Roblox has added. Basically, you can enable your microphone and camera. This basically, I'll just read this. Enabling microphone allows an eligible user to chat with their voice in your experience. Basically saying, anybody who has their basically, if they're already eligible to have a microphone, to talk in game with the microphone, they're allowed to do that. Then they can talk into your experience with other players who have voice chat. Enable camera. Enabling camera allows eligible users to animate their avatar with their movement and your experience. This means that basically, if the player is eligible to basically animate their face, which is the new thing that they added. Basically, you can turn on your camera and then basically you can make a facial expression, and that facial expression will be converted to Roblox, and then it will show your avatar doing a facial expression that you're doing. So yeah. So we already talked about permission, monetization. This is where you're gonna make, this is where you make developer products, which developer products are basically, so you've been hearing like developer products in Game Pass. Basically, Game Passes are basically a one-time, like you can only purchase them one time, and then you own that item. But a a developer product is basically you can buy it over and over again each time. You just buy it over and over again. You don't own that item, but you get an item associated with the developer product. Now security, this is where you can allow the game to use these requests from your game. So if I would let my game enable, Studio, enable access to API services. I enable the game to allow third-party sales, and I enable the game to party teleports. But don't allow all of them because they can cause problems in your game. Okay, hacking can happen. But only turn on the ones that you need for the game to actually function. You'll probably use you will probably use enable a studio access to API services and allow third-party sales. You might use allow third-party teleports. Basically, you can teleport to other games, but you won't be using that a lot. So, places. So you can make places in your game. You see how, like, basically when you join indoors, right? When you go indoors, and then you enter elevator, right? It and then after the time runs out to go to the game, it sends you to another game that is inside doors. So it's actually pretty cool. You can make different maps by using these places, and it makes it just the game organized. So you're not in only one game. Also localization. I'm not gonna talk about this one because it's really not that important for you to know about Roblox Studios. So I recommend you just try to find out because I'm not gonna talk about it in this video. So avatar, this is where you can allow which avatar you want the player to wear. So player choice, which means the player can basically choose any avatar type and enter the game. With their avatar type. By the way, avatar types, it doesn't mean if you have this avatar type you are not allowed in the game. It just means that your avatar type is going to be converted into an R15 R15 avatar type or a R6 avatar type. So, but usually you would probably want to do player choice. But if your game has animations with R15, you can just put R15. If your animations only do R6, you do R6. Animation, I'm not gonna talk about that. Collision, I mean, I could talk about that, but it's not that important, and everything else is really not that important. This is basically, okay, what this is basically, what do you want the player to wear when they enter? What do you want them to wear? Override player choice. So basically, you choose the ID. So you see how it says, t-shirt ID, shirt ID, and pants ID. Basically those are shirt IDs. Basically when you make a shirt, it has an ID that basically links the player with the shirt, so the player can be, so the shirt is on the player. So basically you can override the player's choices if you want. Usually I would not use this. I don't use it, but it could be useful to you. I don't know, it could be useful. World, I mean, I don't know, like, I don't really use this, and we're probably not going to talk about it today. We'll probably talk about it in another video. So enable cloud editing, enable cloud editing for scripts. Basically, if you want players, other players in Roblox Studios to use be able to edit the scripts, then you do that. This was the thing that would enable it. See, the team creator server needs to restart to take effect. So yeah. So that's basically the basics of Roblox Studio. I could tell you about the material manager, but that's it. Oh wait, one more thing. This is the last thing. So this is the last thing that you would need is this. If you see this plus button right here, this is where you can pick anything in the game. So these are things that are going to change the game. Alright, so basically you got your part and everything else. You got a tool, you got a spawn location. Basically all the things that we have talked about here, which are these things right here. It will have things that you probably have used before, which I've used a lot of scripts, folder, tool, spawn location because I use it right now, mesh part, and model. Alright. So yeah, this is where you would just find anything that you need for the game. All this stuff is going to change the game in some way. Alright. Yeah. So that is basically everything you have to know about Roblox Studios for now. I will show you other things like plugins, alright, in another video. So yeah, Gloomcraft is about inspiration and learning. I hope this video teaches you about how to use Roblox Studio. Bye bye.